Chapter 1. Can you imagine life without cars and electricity? How did the things we use every day, such as cars, electric lights, and CDs, come to be? The answer has a lot to do with physics and chemistry. Physical science, the subject of this book, includes the study of physics and chemistry. Physics tells us how and why things move. Chemistry tells us how to make such things as batteries, plastic, and even medicines. In short, virtually everything around you, from cars and airplanes to the workings of your body, depend on chemistry and physics. Physical science teaches us the rules by which everything in the world works, down to the smallest detail. The whole world around you unfolds according to the laws of physical science. This entire book is about physical science. This chapter looks at the big picture of physical science. After reading it, you will be able to answer the following questions. 1. What is physical science? 2. Where do the rules of physical science apply? And 3. What can we learn by studying physical science? Let's take a look at the physics involved in a car. Few inventions have changed the world as much as the car. In 1880, it took about 2 weeks to go 400 miles from Boston to Washington, D.C. on horseback. Today, you can drive the trip in a day because cars are much faster than horses. Speed and motion are both parts of physics. When you push on the gas pedal at a stoplight, a stopped car starts moving. The car starts moving because the engine causes a force that pushes the car forward. If there were no force, the car would not move. Forces are described by physics. Physics tells us how much force it takes to get moving, to turn, to stop. You'll learn more about forces in section 1-3. Suppose you try to push a sports car and a garbage truck. Which is easier to push? If you guessed the car, you are right. But why is a sports car easier to push than a garbage truck? The answer is mass. Mass is the amount of matter combined in an object. A big, heavy garbage truck has more mass than a small sports car, figure 1-1. Physics tells us what mass is and how it affects what we do. You'll learn more about mass in the next section. The chemistry of a car. Think about a car and describe what it's made of. To a scientist, a car is made of matter. Matter is everything that has mass and takes up space. This book is matter. You are matter. Even the air is matter. At the next level of detail, a car contains many different kinds of matter, such as steel, aluminum, plastic, and rubber. Chemistry tells us about the different kinds of matter and how they are created. Chemistry also tells us how matter can be changed from one form to another. The matter in a car comes in 3 forms we call solid, liquid, and gas, figure 1.2. Solid matter, like ice, is stiff, holds its shape, and may be strong. The frame of a car is made of steel. Liquid matter, like water, flows and does not hold its shape. Gasoline, oil, and windshield wipe, washer fluid, are all liquids that are used in a car. Gas, like air, can expand and contract. The air in the tires is a gas. Does air take up space? Imagine pushing a cylinder into an empty glass. If the air inside can't escape, you won't be able to push the cylinder all the way to the bottom. Because air is matter, it takes up space. Figure 1.3. You don't always notice the mass of air because the mass is spread thinly. However, the total mass of air in a classroom is about equal to the mass of a student. Virtually all of today's cars and trucks run on gasoline. You put gasoline in the tank and it is burned in the engine. The burning gasoline releases energy that makes the engine run, which makes the car work. Burning is a chemical reaction that converts gasoline into other kinds of matter. Chemistry describes what gasoline is and how gasoline burns in a chemical reaction that releases energy. Physical science and living things. Physical science applies to everything, not just to machines like cars. Even living organisms are governed by the rules of physics and chemistry. These rules apply to actions like walking and swimming. They also apply to everything that goes on within your body, such as digestion and the flow of blood. The cheetah is the fastest land animal, reaching speeds up to 70 miles per hour or 112 kilometers per hour. A cheetah can go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in about 3 seconds. That's faster than an expensive sports car. How does the cheetah move so quickly? The answer is in the physics of muscles and bones. The cheetah's skeleton is built for speed with long legs and a flexible spine. A running cheetah covers more than 20 feet or 8 meters in each stride. The force created by the cheetah's muscles are directed by its long bones. The result is a very high-speed cat. Takes a lot of energy. Where does the cheetah get its energy? From chemistry. When a cheetah eats, chemicals in the stomach break down food into other chemicals. One of these chemicals is a sugar called glucose. Glucose is a chemical fuel for living muscles. The same energy happens when humans run or do any other form of physical exercise. It takes energy to run, to keep your body from freezing in winter, and even to think. All living things use energy to live. They cannot make energy themselves, but get their energy from food, animals, or sunlight, plants. To exchange, store, and release energy, living things have evolved special chemicals called fats and carbohydrates. Biochemistry is a branch of chemistry that explores exactly how plants and animals use chemicals and energy for living. Science and technology. Technology includes all the inventions and techniques humans have developed, such as cars, microwave ovens, and computers, and even the horse-drawn plow. This book is the result of technology, as is your school building. A bridge is technology because it solves the problems of how to cross a river. A telephone is technology because it solves the problem of how to talk over long distance. Think of technology as applied science, using science to solve problems or accomplish tasks. Technology is created by people. A car exists because many people use science to invent gasoline, spark plugs, tires, and all other bits of technology that make up a car. Once a technology like a car exists, people think of ways to make it better. Compared to cars from 1896, today's cars are more reliable, less expensive, and less polluting, safer, and easier to use. Figure 1.6. 50 years from now, cars may run on hydrogen fuel, creating no air pollution or using no gas. The design cycle is how technology gets better. Imagine someone has a new idea for a better light bulb. This idea leads to a design. A design is a plan for how to turn the idea into a reality. A test bulb, called a prototype, is built to see if the idea works. Prototype is tested to see how long it lasts and how bright it is. The results of the testing are analyzed. Often the design is changed based on what was learned in the testing. Then a new prototype is built and tested. The cycle repeats until the new bulb is as good as it can be. Technology allows people to do things that people living 200 years ago could never do. Traveling from New York to Los Angeles is less than a day would have been impossible without the technology of airplanes. Yet technology also has a dark side. For example, the technology that allows a few farmers to grow enough food to feed themselves for thousands of people created pesticides, pollution. All technology has both good and bad aspects. Engineering. Engineers are people who design, create, and work with technology. Engineers have to know science facts, but they also learn how to use science to do practical things. Engineering is a very creative, fun, and well-paying career. Following are descriptions of just a few areas of all engineering. There are many others. Cell phones are designed by electrical engineers using the physics of electricity and light waves. Computers, televisions, generators, and everything around you that uses electricity was probably designed by an electrical engineer. Mechanical engineers design the parts of a cell phone and all the machinery used to make the cell phones. Mechanical engineers use the concepts of geometry, force, motion, energy, and power to design things that are practical to build and that work correctly. Civil engineers design buildings, bridges, dams, and other structures. Figure 1.8. They need to understand how forces and materials impact structures. They also need to know about water and land. Some types of land, like wetlands, are not suitable for building on. The new batteries that make up electric cars were invented by chemical engineers. Chemical engineers use knowledge of chemistry to create new materials, developing a non-polluting fuel such as alcohol made from corn and prairie grass is another important new challenge that today's chemical engineers are working on. Biomedical engineers work with technology that is applied to the human body. One biomedical development is an artificial knee, which has allowed thousands of injured people who otherwise would be confined to a wheelchair to walk and even run again. Genetic engineering is a relatively new area of both science, research, and technology. Genetic engineers use knowledge of DNA, chemistry, and biology to change how living things grow and develop. Someday, many human diseases may be cured by genetic engineering.